Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of CME TV Interview Session, a program where we invite innovator stakeholders in the blockchain, crypto, and fintech ecosystem to discuss the state of the ecosystem. So today we are talking about using emerging tech for business competitive advantage. An interesting topic, and we have our guests who are going to be joining us. Who are already here to talk about this topic. Joining me is Pratik Duavedi, who is the co-founder FireChain. You're welcome, Pratik.
Hello there. Nice to have you, and good morning or good evening, everyone, wherever you are.
Yeah, it's our pleasure having you. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I mean, it's a lot of work. We're creating something that's potentially going to change a lot of things, not in just in blockchain, but just business in general. So it's a lot of responsibility. But I'm very overworked. As you see, I look pretty old, but generally doing good.
Thank you very much. So, joining him also is Alala Khan. Alala Khan, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you having me on your show. It's exciting to
Yeah,
be here.
yeah, it's our pleasure having you. We are looking forward to an interesting conversation. I'll give you just few minutes to just do a brief introduction about yourself and your background. So let me start with you, Pratik, yourself and your background.
Well, my background is pretty much in hardcore internet marketing. I have been a Facebook, Google marketer for a long time, but I've been a believer in the blockchain technology for years. I mean, I remember buying my first Bitcoin when it was $7, and being absolutely blown away when I read the white paper and really believing in the technology. So I've been following the blockchain space for quite a long time now as a VC, as an investor, and I've always wanted to create something. And 2 years ago, I sort of retired, and I just wanted to have something come to me and not just work for money. And that's when I met my co-founders, and we decided to build this fire chain, where what the idea was to take the world from for profit to for benefit, so towards the fifth industrial revolution using blockchain. And we made our own consensus where we financially incentivize sustainable practices through ESGs and the United Nations language. And now this is my passion. I This is what I do all day, every day.
That's very nice, a nice background, and nice passion. So let me hear from you, yourself and your background, Alala Khan.
I've been working with blockchain technology probably for about 4 years. I was in the blockchain space as a programmer, and then gradually I realized that my strengths were in the area of marketing and content development, and taking the technical concepts that are difficult to understand in blockchain, and explaining them in more easier language. So that's what I've been doing for the past about 3 years, is creating a lot of content, particularly in the blockchain space. And now I've transformed into a person who very much believes in the idea of sustainability and sustainable growth with the UN Sustainability Development Goals, the SDGs, because not only it is necessary for the globe to sustain and remain the way they are, but it's good business. I mean, sustainability, a few years ago, the market was about $5 billion. By 2030, the sustainability market would be about $50 billion. So it's also good business, to save the earth and keep it the way it is.
Yeah, interesting, nice background as well. We are talking about using emerging tech for business competitive advantage. Let me hear from you, Pratik. What kind of technologies are classified as emerging tech? When you talk about emerging tech, you talk about Web3. So what are technologies fall under this category?
Well, with Fire, we started off bringing in, as I said, bringing in the fifth industrial revolution. So initially, our main core, and still is the main core, is a consensus mechanism, which basically rewards you financially for sustainable practices. So we're not using proof of stake, we're not using proof of work, we're using something called proof of fire, or a sustainable proof of stake, where, in very simple language, I of course don't want to go into like a lot of technical jargon for the readers, but let's say if you and I have the same stake in the system, but you are using geothermal energy and I'm using carbon, then you will have a better proof of benefit score, which is our own proprietary consensus mechanism. And hence you will end up making more money because you'll have more chances of validation and higher rewards. And this is the first time, because we're the first truly sustainable blockchain, because the first time sustainability has been catered to from a core consensus level. So that's a competitive advantage to start with. But also, might I add that the more we went through in the journey, the more we realized that the adoption of blockchain is two faceted. One is the sustainability element, and the other is the ease of use element. So we're also making sure that the blockchain is a technology that's adopted more by simplifying it for the masses. So, for example, in our wallets, you would not have complicated hexadecimal addresses. You would not need Solidity language or broader understanding of blockchain technology to be using it. You'll have something simple called, let's say, there's a person called Adam. So you'll have Adam.fire. And in that token, in that Adam.fire domain, I mean, you'll be able to store all your assets, all your cryptocurrencies, all your NFTs, all your decentralized identities, files, so on and so forth, with cross-chain compatibility. So the problem it solves is very massive, because uh, you're removing all the jargon. You don't need to download anything. And especially when we are in this stage of censorship, you can ban MetaMask, you can ban CoinMarketCap, you can ban Binance, but you cannot ban a Web3 decentralized domain. So you will be promoting financial inclusion by making sure that you'll always have custody over your assets, irrespective of what's happening there. In addition, you could also send crypto or tokens or NFTs to phone numbers. So people who don't have identities, so let's say in remote parts of Africa or remote parts of Asia, people don't have identities, but everybody has a phone number. So we also bring forth financial inclusion by giving banking, loans, um, having DeFi accessible, financial markets accessible to people who do not have bank accounts.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me hear from you, Lakan. What are some of the tech that are classified as emerging tech?
Pardon me?
Can you hear me?
Can you repeat that, please?
There are some of the technologies that are classified as emerging tech.
Yes. So basically, what Fire has done is democratize, involvement of the community. And at its core, what it actually does is it provides a lot of services that were either too technical to get access to, or they were just available to the upper core, to the high end investors. So it provides financial services to people. There are 1.5 billion people in the world who do not have an identity. And for them, even if they have money, financial services are not possible for them. So Fire provides you with the wallet and provides you with financial services. The second thing it does is it makes e-government services and smart city and the application of things to make
Okay,
our day-to-day life sustainable.
Alakan, what are some of the benefits of applying fire chain?
Well, one of the biggest benefits of
What are some
using
of the benefits of
Parachain,
applying fire chain?
right?
Yes, for businesses. What are the advantages?
Well, it depends on the use case, but if you are going to use it in e-government, there will be more accountability, there will be more transparency, you can hold people accountable. See, this is a civil society problem. When we have corruption, we have other problems, and this will solve e-government problems. When it comes to personal identity, it'll allow you to get financial services, it'll get you your own identity that you can have transactions with. And on top of that, once you have an identity directly related to a domain, then that is something that is universal. So, if my name is al.fire, my domain, it'll be applicable anywhere I am in the world. So if I'm in India, I can use it. If I am in Africa, I can use it. And that's one of the biggest things that is a problem. And we will be able to resolve that problem for 1 billion plus people. So 1 billion people will be impacted if they use the technology that is being offered by Fire.
Okay, interesting. Let me hear from you. In case if there are some things Alakan didn't cover on that. What are the benefits of applying fire chain in any business?
Well, another real benefit is because
Well, for
again,
business,
okay, I thought that was for me. Please carry
It's
on.
for
Sorry.
you, Kritik.
Okay. Well, one of the biggest benefits I see, because we're targeting four actors: governments, Fortune 500s, universities, celebrities, and the people who have made companies, $100 million plus companies in the SDG areas. So the biggest benefit is because the consensus is sustainable, or at least goes towards sustainability. By making a smart contract on a platform, you're contributing to the world, because you are by default or by proxy a for benefit project. So this is not just financial inclusion, but also making sure that we make money while we also do good. In fact, we make more money while doing more good, because what's happening right now is that there's a lot of hogging of resources, and people are only concerned about money. And we want to prove the thesis that we have done from our non crypto traditional businesses, that you can make more money while you do more good. And also, having said that, Firechain is a part of Firechain. Of course, the core project is just a chain, but we are an ecosystem. So we want to be in the big leagues with Solana, with Cardano, where we have our own metaverse, our own NFT marketplace. We have our own exchange, we have our own wallet, and then the Firechain itself is there. And we have our Fire Capital VC, which also is going to be a DAO, which will give return back to the investors, Fire investors, through investing in different projects that are infrastructure and sustainability related. So it's a
Are
multifaceted
there
ecosystem.
some challenges? Are there some challenges in applying fire chain when you are once making use of fire chain? What are some of the challenges? Did you
A
hear
lot of,
that?
yeah, a lot of challenges revolve around human capital. So capital is financial capital, which has been pretty easy for us because of our idea, because of our the way we have worked. Then there's relationship capital, which has been fairly easy because we are pretty well connected. And there's human capital, which is coders and so on, and programmers. So because blockchain is such a specific field, and also we're developing in Rust, so we have interoperability, we have forkless upgradability. All these are difficult problems. So finding human capital to build the project itself has been a little bit of a challenge, because we're consistently on the lookout for more developers to make the product more robust, more researchers. So one of the biggest challenges right now has been finding resources, finding people themselves who believe in the vision and then would want to build it. But having said that, we are partnering up with pretty big names, like Huawei is helping us. We have a MOU signed with them, so they're helping us with on the human capital side, on marketing, on hackathons, on infrastructure. And now we'll also be organizing a lot of hackathons in India and around the world to make sure that the developer community is robust and strong, and builds the chain the way we wanted to build it.
Okay. Finally, before we draw the curtain on today's episode of CME TV Interview Session, I would like to get from you what are the future? What is the future of fire chain, and what are some of the roadmaps?
So, Alkram, you want to take that? I've been talking for quite a long
Yeah,
time.
sure. So, like Pratik mentioned, that it is an entire ecosystem where you don't need to download anything. One of the biggest features that we're very proud of is that the upgrade of any software that we will offer, it'll happen without forking. and that has been a big problem in blockchain, is forking and the misery that goes with forking, and the impact it has on investor and the currency and the whole ecosystem. So that is one big advantage, because all of that happens on the server side, and the users do not get impacted with it. The ecosystem does not get impacted with it, and whomsoever adopts our system does not get impacted with it, because that is a huge expense if you have to upgrade your hardware or anything else. The
Correct.
roadmap, for the most part, we are going to launch our coin sometime in the next month or so. So that is also, is going to bring us on board with real-time users that are going to be able to adopt the system, get engaged in the ecosystem, and find out all the benefits that it provides. And in addition, what we have done is we have engaged, like I was mentioning, e-government. Right now, in terms of e-government, we have MOUs signed with different companies in 3 different continents. So we are in Asia, we are in Africa, and we are in the Americas, where we have MOUs signed with governments in the United States. So it is a pretty universal effort, and sustainability is something that everybody is interested in now, because it'll have real dire experience, consequences if we don't follow through. So a lot of partners are coming forward and working with us on these issues to address them immediately.
Yeah,
And
and to
thank
build on
you.
top of that, to build just a little piece on top of that, um, we're using a stage gate process. So the stage gate one was to build the idea, to make sure that this is an idea that can actually be implemented. And once that was completed, we began a raise. We did a raise pretty quickly. And the second stage gate was to build the technology itself, to build the process. And now that the technology is nearing its completion, we'll be building a third stage gate, which means institutional adoption of the mainstream. So we'll be bringing all the actors that I spoke about: governments, Fortune 500 celebrities, university students, and social entrepreneurs, apart from developers on board. The roadmap for the next 1 year is to make sure we have as much adoption of the chain as possible, and as much use cases being built and people coming in, playing around first with the test net, and then developing their apps on the main net as well. Apart from the whole government and everything else, I personally believe that a chain, as much as we have these government partnerships and these Fortune 500s, which is great for us, but a chain is really becomes a real chain when it's starting adopted by public and developers. So that's what we're looking at in the next year.
No, thank you very much. It has really been an amazing discussion with you, gentlemen and innovators. Thank you very much. We really discussed a lot around this topic, the marketing tech for business competitive advantage. Thank you, Pratik, the co-founder of Firechain.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for your time. Very much
Oh,
appreciated.
thank you, Lakan. Okay, thank you very much. You stay
Thank you.
connected. We have a lot of things. I really like what you guys are doing. We are done with the interview.